Good evening and welcome. I'm Bob Pace. Fight. I'm here to talk about how to fight CPS and stop taking our children. It's a warm welcome. I know that being involved in CPS is not a happy matter. For some that don't know what CPS stands for, I call it the Child Protection System. It's a government entity found in every state and every county that is supposed to protect our children from neglect and abuse. It was enacted by Congress in the 60s to protect our children. And there's been a long history of taking care of our children, protecting our children for over 400 years. But it wasn't until the 1960, I think it was 64, that Congress passed an act that said that social services will create a group of social workers to protect our children from neglect or abuse. So every county took upon themselves to create a group. They created different names for the group, and that's where it gets a lot of confusion. Like in my case, I was in Orange County, so it's called the Child Protection Services. But next door in LA County, it's called the Department of Children and Family Services. In Prescott, Arizona, it's called the Department of Children and Families. And then in Richmond, Kentucky, it's called the Cabinet. So every county and every state has a different name. I think a lot of them are Child Protection Services, but I make it simple. Anything it does with the protecting of our children from neglect or abuse, I call Child Protection System. So, and I'm going to abbreviate for CPS, which should make it easy for you. So I'm so glad that you have found this room. There's lots of things you can do in it. You can interact really easily by strictly text me a comment. That's one way. I'd love to hear from you. All I ask is you put your name, your first name, and your city and state. And if you're outside the country, please put your city and country. And yes, I've talked to over 2,600 people from around the world. Not only in the US, all 50 states I've talked to. I've talked to about 6 provinces in Canada. And then I've talked to the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Wales. And then I've talked to Africa. There's so many countries in Africa, and South Africa and three of its provinces. And then I've talked to India and Bangladesh and Indonesia, and I even talked to a country up in the Middle East. And then I've talked to Australia, New Zealand. It's over 2,600 people, and they all said something in common. They had trouble with CPS or the police. So 50% of all CPS entities and 50% of police entities have been a problem with CPS. It seems like they want to take children and they don't have a reason, or they trump up a reason. And technically, they're not supposed to take our children unless the child's in immediate danger. That's where attorney comes into play. This whole thing is about having an attorney. You need to have an attorney. Otherwise, you're not going to win your case. You're not going to get your children back. Now, I thought I could fight on my own, but instead, it got me worse because I was fighting the director. I was going to a meeting there. They wrongfully took my children. It's a long story, and if I have time, I'll talk about it. But I really want to get into the meat of what you're in here for, and that's to answer your questions. So I hope that all of you write me a message here that can help you. Now, besides sending me a message on the show, you can also text me a message or write my email. My number to text is right there, 626. See here. 698-0990. And you can text. And then my email is bobp@vincentwdavis.com. And you can send it to there. Now, I can talk on the show during my show hours. My show hours are on at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time in the morning, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time in the afternoon, and 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in the evening. So that's 3 times a day, 7 times a week. That's 21 shows a week. Now, I've been doing this steadily. Well, I've been doing this for 3 years. 2 years and 5 months. There were a couple months that took the time off. I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad I can help. Um, I'm helping you all to get an attorney or how to get an attorney and how to fight your case. And the problem is that the entity is very corrupt and really bad. Really corrupt and really, really bad. So, uh, Now, besides texting or writing a message here, a question, or emailing, you can also set up a time that you'd like to be on the show. I would like very much for you to be on the show. And that way you can be a guest. I can take 9 of you. I can have 10 people on at one time, including me, and that means 9 additional guests. All you have to do is send me a text message, is probably the quickest way to do it. Send me a text message or an email, and you should put your first name and your last name, your phone number, your email, and your location where you're from. And then I will take the information and forward it on to Grace to help you get on. She'll give you the link and you'll be able to get on to the live stream. And I can take more than one of you, I can take 9 of you. So that is really, really good. Now, right now, I don't have anybody lined up for live screen, but I really like you to be on here. The show is about you guys and how you can help one another. All I do is tell you what I've encountered and try to problem solve. But you need to help yourself. And getting involved in CPS is a negative thing. It's a bad thing. So I know how hard it is. So, um, one thing you're going to find out when you do get caught up with these entities, they're not honest. They lie, they cheat, they steal money. You got to be really careful because 50%, it's a 50-50 shot that you come across a good one, a good CPS. Same thing goes for the police. Same thing goes for foster care. There's a 50-50 chance that you have a good foster care. And it's sad. It really is sad because you put a lot of faith in the government. Now, the government is only supposed to take your child if the child's at risk for immediate danger. But a lot of times, um, the parent doesn't realize that. And so I'm telling you, don't let them take your child. Don't talk to them. Don't let them in your home. Not unless you have an attorney present. If you have an attorney present and they tell you to, then you go ahead. With no attorney present, then it can be really tough. Now we have CJ Dunbar. Hello there. I remember you. I think you're from Pennsylvania, CJ. Are you from Pennsylvania, CJ Dunbar? Um, the only other Dunbar I know is the one with dancing wolves. Lieutenant Dunbar, the soldier at the fort, the one that made friends with Dusoc, the wolf, and made friends with the Lakota Sioux. Anyway, glad to see you, CJ. What can I do for you? Is there anything new information you have for me? Any questions? How can I help you, CJ? Huh. Oh, you moved to New York. Well, welcome to New York. And so, what's happening with you in your CPS case? Whatever happened with you, CJ? Whatever happened with you? And welcome the other people in the room, too. I see more people come in the room. Welcome. I'm glad to see you. I was away for a little bit. I left the latter part of December and gone in January and then came back at the end of February. But I've been doing it steadily. I have talked to over 2,600 people from around the world, involved some countries in all 50 states and half of the Canadian provinces. But I'm here to help you with your CPS matter. Now, the CPS matter gets reported by two kinds of people: lay people and professional people. Now, professional people are people like your doctor and nurse. And it's also your teacher, your counselor, your principal, and your nurse there too. Also, there could be a daycare center and a fireman, a policeman, all get notified. Well, all those individuals have to, because of law, report any suspected uh, CPS, any suspected child abuse or neglect. They've gone through training, and part of their job is required by law. The other kind of reporters are the lay persons. These are your neighbors, your family members, uh, people up at the store, those kind of the local people there. Um, we're supposed to get a little bit of help, I think, as we get older and stuff. So anyway, hello there, Sarah Martinez. I remember you. Sarah is from El Paso, Texas. She's from El Paso, Texas. Glad to see you again, Sarah. What's new? What would you like me to talk about? I'm back. Um, a phone call came in. I wanted to tell them that I can't talk at the moment because, again, I only have one device. I need two devices to do this live stream. One is for the phone, and one is for the StreamYard. StreamYard is what I do the broadcast on YouTube. Now, that was Sarah Martinez that called in, and I told her I still don't have the computer part, but she's going to type a message in the comment section. I'll try to help her. Um, yeah, okay. I'm trying to. I got your, and she's from El Paso, Texas. So she's going to write a question that I could. They'll put up my screen. I'll try to answer as best as I can. Best as I can. Now I'm here to also help you get a good attorney like Mr. Davis. Now, to reach him, you would call into his office at 888-888-6582. When you speak there, tell reception that Bob Pace sent you, and when you see Mr. Davis, make sure you tell Bob Pace sent you. He needs to know whether I'm getting to some future prospective clients. But anyway, I'm here to help you about a lot of matters about CPS. A lot of matters about CPS. Things like what to do when they come knocking at your door, or how to handle an ICWA, a 1979 Congressional Act by ICWA. It's the Indian Child Welfare Act. They improved the Indians. It took them almost 200 years to finally get it so that their children are put in with Indian families that can better suit them and better take care of their needs. But for a long time, they were ignored. They were ignored by a long time. Now, do you have something for me? Okay, here we go. Let me scroll down a little bit. Okay, Sarah's asking a question. On what grounds can a caseworker caseworker do what though? Okay, they requested okay. On what grounds can a caseworker ask for more time? This is Santa Maria, El Paso, Jesus. They want more time to do what? They want more time to do what? Sarah further says they're requesting a continuance for my time to provide medical records. Okay. Today was the anniversary hearing. Okay. And Sarah further says the judge did not want to hear the motion because the draft said he said he didn't like the family can do that. Didn't like the family do what? Sarah further says, can a juvenile judge handle a CPS case? Well, first of all, judges are selected or voted in. They're not court appointed or delegate for like that. So whether a judge can handle a CPS case, most judges can, but they got to be elected in that position and they got to have a good background. They got to make sure their background in family law, dependency law, and juvenile law. Those are the three areas of law that you have to accelerate in. And So it is very, very hard, but hopefully that gives you the right answer. Now, another thing that seems to be very troubling and very hard is that the okay, I was reading my notes there, and a judge, if he's qualified and he's been elected to that position, he can handle a CPS case. Um, what is the problem with the judge? What is the judge doing that's so bad, Sarah? What's the judge doing? Well, they can do it if he's elected official. Now, is this so? Sarah further says we had a placement hearing and was ready to proceed. They kept kicking me out of the Zoom conference, and then the judge granted the caseworker more time to get uh, their evidence. So this time it wasn't you, it was the caseworker. Whoa. We had a placement hearing and we're ready to proceed. They kept kicking us out of the Zoom conference. And then something that the judge granted the caseworkers, I guess, continuation of more time for the caseworker. Oh, brother. He claims to have dealt with the family for my teenage cousins and said that he didn't want to deal with the younger boy with the same last name or something. It sounds like a conflict of interest or something. The baby tested positive for cocaine. Oh boy. The metabolic rate is 171, 151 in her system, the workers claims. She had Metrolite S1, no, 171155 in her system, the worker claims. That's a lot in her system. I don't know if that's measured in milliliters or what. I don't know what that number represents. Um, no results of the drug test. Geez, was this a drug test you had to do or they had to do? Now, Sarah says no records of where the drug test was done has been provided and no results giving. Well, okay. The child is 6 months old. That's a very young child to be going through all this. That's not good, Sarah. That's not good. Wow, no records of where the drug was and have provided no results. That's negative. That's bad. And that was stated in the 262 affidavit of the baby. She is 6 months old. Wow. Drug test baby came out. Um, so I understand what you're saying. The drug test the baby came out. Now the drug test on the baby came out, and then wow, wow, they're insinuating that your baby tested positive and you gave her the drugs. Is what I think they're trying to do here, and you need to get that attorney to stop it. Do you have an attorney, Sarah Martinez? Do you have a counsel that's helping to defend you and get your baby back, or your other children if they've been taken? And they're asking for more time for the case. The caseworker came, picked up the baby, took her, and brought her back, stating they did a drug test. Well, no one was there with them, so how you know the drug test is a legal drug test? It's all hearsay. Okay, drug test baby came out of that high, and they asked for more time for the case. The caseworker came and picked up the baby, took her, and brought her back, stating they did a drug test. Sarah says no one was there with them, so they did a drug test with no witnesses. Well, that's certainly not a good thing. That's not a good thing, Sarah. We have CJ that moved to New York from Pennsylvania. What's new, CJ? Wow. They are asking for more time for their case. The caseworkers came and picked up the baby and took her and My internet's doing crazy things. I don't know why. I got a new internet, so it should be okay. I got a new internet, but it should be okay. They're asking for more time for the caseworker who came and picked up the baby, took her and brought her back, stating they did a drug test. No one was there with them. And who is John Williams? Who is John Williams? We try not to use names with social workers, um, the children, or each other. So is John Williams a family friend, or who is John Williams there, Sarah? I'm really confused. Who? Hmm. Okay. I see another message here. Let me try to see it. Oh boy. And they're asking for more time. Their caseworker came, the baby took back her and brought her, saying they did a drug test. No one was there with them. Yeah, I saw that. Then you mentioned John Williams. Who is John Williams, Sarah? Who is John Williams? Now, for some of you that just recently joined or been joining here, I tried my hardest to get you to hook up with Vincent Davis. He should be your attorney. He's my attorney. He's been doing this for over 40 years, fighting CPS and getting your children back. He is always. Okay, we don't know who John Williams is. Who is John Williams? Who is John Williams? I need to know who John Williams is. Um, Hi, Felicia, and welcome. Welcome, Felicia from Oxnard. Who is John Williams? Who is John Williams? Um, Sarah Martinez, I lost you. Are you still coming back? We have Felicia in the home in the house, and she's from Oxnard. She has a case in CPS in Ventura County with her two babies, her twins. She also has several criminal cases. One doing with illegal eviction, one doing with trespassing, another one dealing with failure to appear. And those are all in the city of Oxnard courts. So are you still involved in those, Felicia? Is there anything I can help you out with? Hopefully I can come up with something there, Felicia. I really like to help you out because she's been wrongly charged and she's been one of my longest supporters in here. Okay. Now, my county ombudsman for a file. Okay, Felicia says, I was instructed to contact an organization like the CA Appella Project, AVO Kids, my county ombudsman to file. What are you trying to file, Felicia? What are you trying to file? What are you trying to file? Felicia, can you tell me what you're trying to file? You mentioned about the AVO kids the other day, and my county ombudsman for file reports, complaint, grievances. Well, yeah, but you still need to help yourself. We still have to get you going, Felicia. I have about 20 minutes left of the show time, and then I'm going to have to end it with the video. So, yeah, Felicia says she was instructed to contact organizations like CA Appellate Projects, AVO Kids, and my county and ombudsman for little reports, complaint, grievances. Well, I hope they can help you there, Felicia, but I think they're running you around like a top and you're being spun in all different directions. Okay. So Christina, who is from Las Vegas, shared with me a document from the post-optation action plan. Okay. Uncle Bob, yeah, I was instructed to contact organization called the CA Project Afro Kids and my county ombudsman for a file. And you did that. Good. I'm glad you did that, Felicia. I'm so glad you did that. I'm glad you did contact their office. Now, have you contacted your county ombudsman? You said you're close to contact ombudsperson. What is the ombudsperson going to do? You're going to file a certain report. That's what he's going to do for you. I think you got to be really careful of this individual there, Felicia. I don't want you coming here and getting hurt. Yeah. So, what did you hear, Felicia? What did you hear back, Felicia? Now, Vincent Davis works out of LA County. His office is in Arcadia. His retainer is $5,000. He's $550 an hour. That's for LA County. Now, if he goes other places, more money, especially if he goes out of state. But he will go to help you. He will do that, but it is a lot more money there. Attorneys are not free. As I say, there's three types of attorneys: the court-appointed attorney, the public defender attorney, and the we missed that one, Felicia. We missed that one, boy. Okay. Switching gears here, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I got involved in CPS. It was started by family members, and these were my wife's family members. My wife's mother and dad and her three sisters and brother would call in once a week and report that we weren't taking care of our kids. They were setting up faults. They were trying to get our kids, is what they were trying to do. And SteamYard, and CPS didn't want to believe that or hear that and so forth. So it's always been hard convincing social workers because social workers have bad feelings about CPS. Well, they have bad feelings about CBS, they'll have bad feelings about other places like CPS. So let me see. You're an ombudsperson. You ever reached them there, Felicia? You ever reached them there? Um, so anyway, my involvement was terrible. I tried to fight them, and what they're doing is illegal, and they're tricksters. They lie. Now I'm talking from experience. Now I've been working a job for 61 years. I've been, you know, lots of years in marriage. I've have over 43 years of marriage experience. I've helped raise 6 children, and I'm here tonight to help you all connect to attorney Vincent Davis. And with him, he can help you. With him, he can help you. Now, my case was hard because I had false allegations, and I had to deal with them and fight with them from about about 2011 or 12, all the way to 2017. That's my dealing with fighting with CPS. I lost one child out of my 6 children. 2 children were given back to me at the end, and that's what I got to thank Vincent for. But the one child that left us, she divorced us. She divorced us because she convinced people. And with 12 years old in the state of California, you can divorce your parent for any other reason. You don't have to give a reason. You don't have to give a reason. And that is hard to do. Now, Felicia, you left, I guess. I hope you're coming back, Felicia. I hope you're coming back. Well, we don't have anybody in the room, looks like. I was wishing we had somebody that could ask some good questions. Sometimes it goes slow, sometimes not at all. This is one of those times not at all. So you get to hear me more talk about what not to do and how to stop CPS, track your kids. One of the things you can do is not answer the door. Don't speak to anybody, don't have your family members speak to anybody, but don't answer the door. And well, my case got worse and worse as more complaints surfaced. It's from my in-laws. I did not know that to the end. And they would call in and say we weren't taking care of our children. And that's not true, but they're very corrupt. You can't trust CPS. They do a really negative things towards you. They do a negative things towards you. And welcome back. Is that you, Felicia? I never finished your question. I'm looking for more questions, Felicia, and I didn't see it. I have a personal room. Is that you, Felicia? Anyway, I would like to have a comment that I can work off. It's really important to do so. And we have about 10 minutes left of the live stream because I'm going to have to retire it and have that little streaming video to show you after I do it. But I do want to help you, but I can't help you if you don't ask me. Being in a room, being silent is the way to go about doing something. And of course, being like, I don't know. I'm just surprised at the way things are going. That's all I can say. Now we have somebody in here called Grateful Daughter. I think you've been in here before, Grateful Daughter. Grateful Daughter says, when did they reimburse or when did they refuse to let me enter crime? I'm confused. Grateful Daughter, you're saying, why do they refuse to let me enter my evidence court? They should not refuse. They should not refuse. Grateful daughter, they should not. I'm okay, grateful. Grateful daughter, where are you from? I forgot. Where are you from, grateful daughter? I don't know why. They should never refuse. They should never refuse. A warm hello to you, grateful daughter. Anyway, hi. And your question is, and I can't see the answer because I need more information. They refuse to let me enter evidence into the court to testify. Well, that's wrong. They can't do that. They can't do that. Moretta, California. Okay, great. Moretta is not too far. It's in LA County. So your case is in LA County, correct? And I'll try to help you. I'll try to help you. But LA County is a bad county. It really is. And it can be really hard or difficult. Really hard or difficult. That's a tough county to fight in. They're not fair to you, and they will take your children. They will take your children. Grateful daughter from Riverside County. They will take your children, so you got to be awful careful of that. Um, Riverside County, yeah, we got that. I'm just waiting for more comments. Comments are coming in slow tonight. I wish I had more. I wish I had more. Well, we do know where you're from. You're from Riverside County, which is that is separate from LA County, but Riverside is pretty bad. Riverside is pretty bad. Revoke my visits, call me a determination, and I don't know why. Wow. Who did all this? Who stopped your visits, and who says that you don't know how to love? Um, don't I know why? Well, I don't either, but it is very corrupt. So you could be at a corrupt place. Well, revoke my visits, call me a detrimental, and don't know why. That's wrong. That's wrong. They should not. You should not revoke your visit. Should not call you detrimental. That's totally wrong. That's totally wrong. Now, one thing that's nice if you have an attorney, he can rest assure you you're going to get your child back. If he's a good attorney, he has to be the right attorney. All right, he has to be the right attorney. What about the child's therapist, grateful daughter? What do you mean by child therapist? I'm trying to figure out what you mean there. You know, sometimes therapists do more harm than good. Okay, I'm trying to read. You're not temperamental. Don't let them antagonize you, grateful daughter. Please don't. And they have to have a license to be a child therapist. They force you to accept a guardian saying, I was mentally incapacitated. They need to prove it. They can't, it's hearsay. Nothing is hearsay. They need to prove it. They need to prove it. Well, that's wrong. And I'm so sorry. I know you can't afford an attorney. I understand that. So use a public defender. You gotta make that public defender work for you. You really gotta have a bunch of the same vendor because that's how many people on the line. It's something like 321 people ahead of me, and I can't believe that it was called me. But now I called in the morning, but I can't believe that someone has done office work. Okay, let's see here. Where we got here? Grateful daughter, they forced me to accept a guardian. Who is the guardian that you were forced to accept? Who is the guardian that you're forced to accept? Um, Grateful daughter, who is the guardian? Yeah, yeah. Okay. One of the things I have some rules you need to follow. Make sure you have a notebook to put everything in and have tabs to organize it. It should be a 6-inch thick binder, standard paper size. And that's where you put all your family classes completed and all your special programs that you had to do, some as long as a year or even two. But when you get those things done, you need to put them in there so they're your fingertips. And you hmm. So this notebook, it will save you. Now, one of the other documents you need to provide with the notebook is your timeline incident form. Now, you make that a notebook paper, you devote 3 sentences for each incident. On the first sentence is the name and where you talked to it, was it a residence or on the phone? And then you put the people involved. Then you do your thing and then come back in later and move the payment day up one notch. Also, the device is not to rest on. It's supposed to use for formal high. All right, I want to know where Cruella went. She was here for a bit, but she disappeared on me. All I have is Grateful Daughter, and Grateful Daughter, I think, is going to be leaving shortly. But I'm trying to help you, Grateful Daughter. But you need to stay in the room to talk. You need to stay in the room to talk. Mm. Now, besides the notebook, and you got your incident time log, the second sentence should be description of what the incident was about. A one sentence sentence. Third line is the outcome of the incident, the outcome of the incident. Okay, great. We have two more people that came back in the room. Good. Ask away. I'm waiting for some questions to answer. I want to help you. In order to help you, you need to transcribe what your questions are. All I ask is your first name and your location, your city and state, or it's your city and country. And I've been talking about the rules. And one thing we've been talking about is the notebook and how to keep track of all your documents. I mentioned about the incident log, and I said the second sentence, or the second line is where you record a quick summary what the incident was about. And then you want to put the outcome of the incident. That'll be the third line, and that may not happen right away. So leave it blank and come back later, but make sure you leave extra spaces between each of the items in there. But that'll be greatly help you. Then not only that, I have to try and think what else you have there. So with that notebook, you have the dividers, the tabs, and organize everything. There's another thing besides the timeline instant log. There's a journal. You should create a journal. Address your children in the journal because you're going to tell them what your mom or dad have been doing every day that's been gone. So they have something to read when they reconnect or reunite. It's terrible when they're returned. It really is. I remember my two boys was so excited to see them return. But it is a problem out there. It is a problem out there. Let me see here. We had Grateful Daughter connect all the. I was declared. No, you're not temperamental. Only a doctor can do that. Don't let social workers be doctors. Yeah, I know the comments are going through slow. It really is. I have a new internet. I thought it'd be faster speed, but I don't know. I don't know. It got me worried here. I have to do a speed test on my phone, I guess. And that way it'll tell me whether I have a good connection or a bad connection. Now, I have to end my live stream because it's time to call it quits for tonight and for today. I have a video to show you that's approximately 2 minutes long, and I'll give you a full hour. But I don't want you to fret. I want you to still come back and see me tomorrow morning. I'll be on again at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, again at noon or at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 3 times a day. And I have a lot of information about CPS and how I can help you and how you get your feeling stuff. So please watch the video after I left. I want to thank Grateful Daughter for being here, Sarah Martinez, Felicia. Thank you so much, CJ Dunbar, who's moved to New York. Thank you again. So this is Bob Pace saying thank you. Keep fighting for your children, and good night.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last ones left. Put your faith in this. We are the